Okay, he's gonna go for Mavis. Not even half HP. Alright, I'm gonna do some showcase on Pindar, and this guy is ultra omega cancerous right now in Point War especially. There is one team in Point War that is unlosable. It is unlosable against every single team in the game except for one unit. One unit can counter, which I'll show you in a bit. Alright, so when it comes to Pindar, you can just close your eyes on his S1 and S3. His S3 is not important at all. Even the buffs, you can just completely ignore it. The most important thing about this unit is going to be the passive, which allows you to share 50% of the damage dealt on the leftmost teammate. And it also increases allies HP by 30%. At R6, he increases the damage shared to 90%, and he also takes 50% less damage from the damage shared. So basically, the leftmost unit is going to be unkillable. Now, when it comes to unkillable, we had a meta where this one unit can completely make the entire team unkillable, which is going to be Mavis, right? You have Mavis in the leader spot, making the entire team unkillable, and then you have Pindar linked with Mavis, so he gives 50% damage reduction. It's better than 50% damage reduction because damage reduction can be ignored, right? But damage shared cannot be ignored. So she pretty much has like effective 50% damage reduction. And then you have Ryukine and Maria will be here to heal up Mavis. And you also have Chuyao to give the Chuyao buff onto Mavis. Most importantly, not because she can't get crit on, but to cleanse her every single attack that the enemy does, right? The most important for this team is going to be not having disease debuff on your Mavis, and also like nasty debuffs like defense break or stuff like that, so that she doesn't get one shot. So this is the reason why Pindar is absolutely broken in Point War, especially not so much in Beat Bout, because the sets that you need is going to be highest attack on Mavis. You can also run a Iki, but the problem with running Iki is going to be the Chuyao buff, right? It's going to be tough for you to tune your Mavis attack higher than your Iki or even Jinchu. If you want to run Jinchu to give Mavis the buff, that is also okay, but I lose some matches when I do run a Jinchu because I couldn't get the Mavis buff. So instead of running the Ggez set, I'm going to give her the shield set, which gives her even more damage reduction, so that she's going to be completely unkillable. And she's also on HP. The rest is going to be the same as well, HP. Yukine, HP. This guy is going to be on crit damage, HP, and speed. He is also part of the DPS as well, because he's going to get a bunch of turns. Pindar is going to be on HP, and speed. And let's go in. You can literally tank a level 70 Moriyama like it's not a problem at all. You'll see, like, I'm taking no damage from Moriyama, I'm taking no damage from Momo, but it does take a while for you to like win the match, because look, 500,000 damage on Mavis, and Chuyao did 1 million. It is a very stall team. You don't have any burst in this team, so if you're fighting off against like another Yukine team, you might lose, not because you died, but because you couldn't do enough damage within that 500 turns. I'll try to fight other Yukine teams. Right now, a lot of people are running Yukine in the defense because of the Point War buff, but also because of Maria, right? Alright, let's see. Moriyama is going to go for Mavis. Does he one-shot? He's probably not gonna one-shot. Okay, he's gonna go for Mavis. Not even half HP. And he is still alive, by the way. And the thing is, with this team, even if he goes into that grave form when he dies, right? He's still going to share the damage. It's the same as Archibald, but Archibald is way worse because he only shares 25% of the damage dealt to Mavis, right? Whereas this guy, he shares 50%, or if you have him at R6, then it's going to be 90% shared damage, which means your Mavis is only going to be taking 10% damage. In order to kill Mavis, you would need to do like almost 2 million damage onto Mavis. And there is no unit in the game right now that comes close to dealing 2 million damage in a AoE or single target attack. So this team is practically unkillable if you have Pindar at R6. Maybe if you run like a Chuanpin plus a Moriyama, then you might be able to one-shot her. But if you have Pindar at R6, there is no way Mavis is gonna get one-shot by anything in the game. Yeah, you can just pretty much auto every single defense in the game. I don't think level 70 Meta Era can't even kill me, even with the ignore defense. Look at that. She tanked 600,000 damage and still survived. Chuyao did 1.4 million. Oh, I forgot to mention, the only weakness for this team, the one unit that can counter this team, is going to be obviously Petros, right? Petros does not care about Mavis as a gimmick. He does not care about the undying factor of Mavis. He can just kill off the rest of the enemy team. And if Mavis is the only one alive, then she's not going to have the shared damage anymore, because the counter to Pindar is going to be killing him off first, right? So if you bring a Petros and you have a lot of AoE attacks and you can kill off Pindar, then this team is going to fall apart. But if you bring a single target, like for example a Moriyama team with Petros, you still cannot kill Mavis, because Moriyama's AI will always target Mavis. He will target either Mavis or Ollie, the one that has like cheat death mechanic to the ally. He will target those first, except for like Daji for some reason. So if you bring a Moriyama as the only DPS and Petros to counter Mavis, you still cannot win against this team. So you need to bring AoE DPS, like for example Mingsho or Daji with her S2, right? But your AoE DPS needs to be really strong as well, because the rest of the lineup is very tanky. They're all on triple HP and snow set, so they're all gonna be super tanky. Yeah, the gameplay is kind of like this. You're just gonna slowly chip down the enemy's HP, while your Mavis is just going to be unkillable. And also getting the Snow Cloak buff is also very good for her as well, because even if you do get like some debuffs on her, she's gonna cycle out of that debuff and you'll be able to heal up back again with Maria. And Maria is also very important for this team because she heals every single turn, not just your turn. We'll try to fight some other like tank teams, like this guy for example. There's no way this guy is gonna win because Suiza is not gonna do anything to this team. Even if he kills off my allies, they're still gonna be in the grey form. And Yukine will still proc her Blizzard in the thingy, right? Okay, we found a Yukine team with a level 70 Yukine. We might just stall out until we cannot win. That's probably what's gonna happen. We still win. Let's take a look at the damage. Not that high. Chuyao did a lot of damage though. As you can see, Chuyao in this team is doing a lot of damage because it is a very stalled team. Mavis is also doing a lot of damage. In PvP, Chuyao actually does a lot of damage because of his debuff, right? The Calamity debuff in PvP, it adds like 50% more damage. And he also scales with HP. And when you get the Snowcloak buff on Chuyao, he gets a bunch of turn. This time around, we do have an AoE DPS being Lapis. And we have a Petros. So there's a good chance that I'm gonna lose this. But if this Lapis cannot one-shot the Pindar in my team, then he's still going to lose. If he takes too long, then Yukine is going to ramp up and he's just going to lose. So we still win, okay? Oh my god, the one unit that can counter this team and they still lose. Oh, the Lapis actually went first. So he's only running Lapis to go first with Moriyama, which means the Lapis isn't built as a DPS for this specific team, which is why you can't really do anything against my Pindar, right? So yeah, even with Petros, this team can win. The only team that this team is going to struggle against is probably like Petros, Mingsho, Daji, and then probably maybe Iki to lower the HP cap of Mavis. But any other Petros team, you're pretty much just going to win. Moriyama cannot do anything against this team. I think even if Moriyama crits, because in PvP Moriyama does about like 200,000 with his S3 if he crits all of them. If you have Lu Shang, then you can go upwards of like 500,000. But even with 500,000, I don't think you have enough to kill off Mavis in this team. So as you can see right here, Petros with the Daji as well, with the Tolan. But Tolan's AI is very stupid, so he won't go for Mavis because my Mavis is built the slowest. He's gonna go for Chuyao, and yeah, it just makes it so that my Mavis is unkillable. There we go. We got the Petros, we got Daji as the AoE DPS. There's 2 level 70 units in the enemy team, and there's no level 70 in this team, and we still win. If you want to be even more cancerous, then you can go ahead and level 70 Mavis just for this. Actually, if you level 70 Mavis and you have it like D6, you might be able to run this comp in Beat Bout as well. And if you run this comp in Beat Bout, you are literally going to be unlosable in Beat Bout. So that might be, you know, the strat, you know? Maybe level 70, I might try that, you know? Level 70 Mavis at D6 running this comp. She's gonna have the highest attack. She's gonna get Chuyao's buff. She's gonna get Pindar's buff. She's gonna get healing from Maria. She's literally just going to be unkillable. Even Petros' team at that point is not going to be able to kill her, I think. Alright, we got 3 level 70 units. not that many AoE DPS, so we're just going to win. Yeah, it's literally unlosable. I think I'll go until like maybe... I'll refresh a few tickets. I'm just gonna blitz through it. Okay, we have a Seek. Maybe Seek can do something? Let's see here. A lot of AoE damage. Nope. Seek. Seek cannot do anything, bro. Yo, what the heck is that? Oh, 300,000. I thought it was 3 million. Yeah, this team is literally unlosable. Okay, Wuyu team. Wuyu team, and there's no Zihi in my team. Let's see if he has enough damage. Maybe Wuyu team with Petros. Ooh, we lost. Okay, nice. Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when it comes to Wuyu team, the reason why this team is weak against Wuyu is because when you do an AoE attack, you take a lot of true damage from Wuyu. So when Mavis gets the Snowcloak buff and she gets a bunch of turns, she's gonna do AoE attacks and she's gonna get the true damage, right? And the true damage is not shared. Wuyu teams is gonna be very good against this team. So this team is weak against a Wuyu team, and it's weak against a specific Petros team, which not many people run anymore. Wuyu teams are a little bit rare nowadays. Most people just run Moriyama in their defense, but if you're running the Mavis comp in your defense, then people can just run a Wuyu team to just counter you, right? Because like, ooh, whoa, okay, Nathaniel one-shot me. Okay, Nathaniel. Maybe if I had a R6 Pindar, that would change. You know what? Let me get R6 Pindar real quick. They're not gonna release that many Wishstones unit anymore. They're gonna release like more Umbra, so Wishstones are gonna be less and less valuable. So might as well just go for R6 Pindar right now. Alright, R6. Now the damage share is going to be 90%. We'll try to go up against that Wuyu team once again and see if the Nathaniel can still one-shot me. Come on, is the Nathaniel still gonna one-shot me? No, not anymore. Okay, because the Nathaniel just now did like 300,000 against Mavis. So if I had like, so that was gonna be like 600,000 against Mavis, right? Now that I have him at R6, that's gonna be only 10%, so 60,000 damage onto Mavis. That's not even like half of her HP, I think, because I'm also getting 30% extra HP from Pindar's passive, right? So I think right now she has about 120 or maybe 130,000 HP. Okay, killed off my Yukine, but I think it's still gonna be fine. We'll see once the Nathaniel gets his turn and he gets 50 stacks, is he still gonna one-shot me or not? Or maybe he's not even gonna get a turn. I think he's just gonna die. Yeah, he just died. Alright, let's just blitz through everything. I think at this point, with an R6 Pindar, this team is going to be unlosable against every single team in the game. Probably, if we do run into a Petros and Ming Shou team, I'm gonna try against that team, but nobody is running that team in point war defense, right? Because that team is very weak against most teams in the game. So, no one's gonna be running that. Yeah, it's literally unlosable. You can't lose with this team. Okay, we got a Seek team. Should be fine. Yep. If you don't have a Yukine, you can run like I said, you can run a Jinshu or an Iki, but that team, you're gonna lose a lot of times if you do use that team. And especially if you don't have an R6 Pindar, right? Because your Mavis is not gonna get the Chuya buff, which means she's gonna be prone to debuffs, especially disease debuff. If you cannot get the disease debuff off of your Mavis, then you're just gonna die because you cannot heal up. Okay, we got a Petros team. I'm gonna refresh one more time. We got a Petros team, pretty heavy AoE damage team. We got Daji and we got R4 Seek. Is it gonna be enough? Nope. There's no counter to this team. I think again, the only counter to this team is if you were to run a Petros in a Wuyu team. I think that's the only counter that you can run, because any other team just doesn't do enough AoE damage. If you cannot kill off Pindar, there's no chance that you're gonna win against this team. This team is so toxic, man. You cannot win against this team. Alright, that's the last ticket. Oh, we still have one more. Okay. We'll try against this team. He has a lot of AoE damage, but it's not gonna be anything because he doesn't have Petros. If you don't have Petros, your AoE damage is all gonna be for naught. There we go. Yo, this team is so cancer. You cannot lose. Alright, so yeah, that's about it. As for the replacement, you can probably replace Maria for other supports that can heal or cleanse. For example, Jin Yu Yao, or even Ahmed, heal up max HP cap, right? But the only problem with Ahmed is that he heals for the ally with the lowest HP. And most of the time, your Mavis is not going to be the lowest HP in this team. It's going to be your allies that either went into the Graveless form. It's going to be your allies that has... Actually, Ahmed is probably not going to be a good idea because of the healing targeting that he has. The best choice for this one is probably just going to be Jin Yu Yao. Or maybe Sakura. Sakura is decent, I guess, but you don't have a consistent cleanse with Sakura. And then for Yukine's spot, you can either run a R0 Iki, but again, the problem with R0 Iki is that he's gonna steal Chuyao's buff, right? Or if you don't want him to steal Chuyao's buff, then you might have to run like a level 70 Mavis or an attack HP Mavis for that to work. And then for Chuyao's buff, there's no replacement. If you don't want to run Chuyao, then you have to run a cleanser in this team. Because if Mavis gets the disease debuff, then you're just going to lose. You won't be able to sustain if Mavis gets the disease debuff. And as for Pindar, so far his R0 is still able to tank pretty much anything in the game. Except for maybe Moriyama with Shuanpin's buff. You might not be able to tank through that. Unless you have like a level 70 Mavis. And also Nathaniel. As you can see just now, Nathaniel did like a 300,000 nuke on me, which means he did like 600,000 onto Mavis, right? But if you do have a R6 Pindar, then your Mavis is only going to be taking 60,000 damage. If Nathaniel, the hardest hitting nuker in the game, cannot kill off Mavis, then nothing in the game can kill off Mavis. And yeah, that's about it. Ciao.